All right, this is the exciting part. We're going to be covering our piñata for the next 3 class periods. Okay, so this information is going to be relevant for the next 3 days. So you can see that I have my piñata was all assembled. It's all glued, taped to support, and now I'm starting on the fringes, the decorating part. So I've got a bunch of tissue paper, and I am going to be cutting that tissue paper up into long strips. Unfold it like this, okay? So you could cut each strip individually by opening up the whole piece of tissue paper and cut one strip at a time. Or, sometimes we like to work smarter, not harder. If we actually have it folded, so right now it's folded in half hot dog style, and fold it in half a couple more times, hamburger style here. And give it a good, make sure it's even as you can get it. And then we'll just give, once it's folded at the seam like that, make it in the big screen so you can see it's folded like that. We're going to give her a little, hard to hold up and cut at the same time, you guys. Tissue paper gets a little wibbly wobbly. So here we go, cut, 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 cut. As carefully as I can. Tissue paper is very easy to break. Okay, so there we go. And I'm going to line it up again and fold it again. There we go. And give it another cut down that seam like that. So this way, I am working a little smarter by not having to cut each strip individually. Now I'm going to cut it about 1.5 to 2 inches thick. So look at that. Instead of cutting one strip at a time, I just cut a whole bunch of them. Here we go. I'm going to line this up so I can cut this in half and get 2 more sets of strips out of there. And this just makes it so much faster. Okay. Now I'm going to take just one because I think cutting, so this is, once again, it's about 1.5 to 2 inches. And it's a nice long strip of tissue paper. So now I'm going to cut the fringes. I just do one strip at a time. I do have the strip folded in half because otherwise I feel like this part gets a little too crazy. Now I'm just going to cut little fringes about every 1/2 inch. Notice I'm not measuring, you guys. Like, this does not have to be perfect. In fact, I feel like it adds to part of the whimsy when it is like, it has a little bit more character by not being absolutely perfect. Plus, if you were to measure every one of these little fringes, this project would take you forever and ever and ever. We don't want that. Okay, gotta get this done. So here's what that strip of paper now looks like. Now that it's got all those fringes cut, notice that I've got a little bit of space up here. That's where my glue is going to be able to go so it doesn't fall apart. So I've got a few layers here already, but let me just show you what I did. I mixed up a little bit of a paste with glue and water, so it's about half glue, about half water, and I just mixed it around, okay? That's, just mix it until it looks like kind of this consistency where it's thicker than water but thinner than glue. Like, there's no exact science there. Then I'm going to use a paintbrush to just kind of paint on a layer here. And then I'm going to set my tissue so that it's overlapping just slightly the last layer and just press it on down, okay? There's going to be a little bit sticking over the edges. Don't worry, because we can always go back and trim that up a little bit more later. Right now I'm just going to give it a rough haircut. Then I'm going to put down my next layer of glue and add the fringes. Once again, just slight overlap, maybe like 1/4 to 1/2 inch. No perfect science. Once again, we're just kind of getting her going, and we can always trim those edges later. Here we go, next row. So you can see, like, once you get going, this actually goes pretty quick. Oh, but I'm noticing I'm maybe a little bit short there. So probably should have measured that first before putting the glue down, but this goes pretty quick. So I'm just going to quickly cut some more fringes here on the next one. I'll do one more row. for you guys, and then chat about the finishing details. Because really, you don't need to watch me do this 100 times over, right? So here we go. Here's that next layer. That one's getting kind of stuck in the glue. Just give it a little pull there. There we go. And be careful. Obviously, tissue paper, it is very easy to rip. So just be gentle with it, especially once it gets wet from the glue and stuff like that. There we go. And we'll release that edge. Okay, so let's just pretend that I've got the whole front done. Oh, and you're also probably noticing, like, it looks a little blotchy, right? Because of the glue showing through. Once the glue dries, that tissue paper is going to go back to the same opacity that it was before, meaning it's not going to be as transparent. It's not going to show through all of the cardboard. But it's got to have time to dry. So I'm not even worried about the fact that it looks a little splotchy right now. That's going to look great later. So now's when I'm going to go in and do some of those finishing details. I'm going to trim up the sides a little bit. You could even fold it over and glue it like this here. I actually, I don't know if you can see this. I folded it up and over and glued it onto that side. So you can do it that way, or you can use your scissors and just kind of give it a little haircut, give her a little trim. That works too. Just sharpen off those edges so that you can still see the shape of whatever it is. Now I want you guys to also notice that this base layer, I'm just doing one solid layer here. I'm not even worried about the paintbrush. I'm not worried about the paint itself. That's going to go on later. So I can choose then. I might want to even, if I don't want to do the tissue method like I've just been showing you guys. Sorry, let me grab my paper here. There we go. Actually, I don't want pink. I'm going to do red down there. There we go. So maybe I don't want to do this tissue paper method. I could, right? I could still do the same thing with the tissue, but I want to show you something different here too. So maybe I grab just some construction paper. You can use paint. Like, there is no exact like way you have to decorate these. As long as you're making your piñata and you're making it cute by decorating it, we are all good, you guys. You can add in yarn, you can bedazzle it, like have fun and make this unique to you. So once this is dry, I could always go back in then and add just with like paper, right? Or I could do the tissue paper, totally up to you. But there's different methods for decorating it basically. So your goal is going to be today you want to do this top layer. Maybe the next day you're going to do the sides. And then the last day you're going to do the back and then do the decoration. Or however you want to divvy that up, feel free to do so. And it's just going to depend on how yours look. Every one of our piñatas looks a little bit different. We all have a different vision for it. So, you know, get creative with it once again. Just showing you a method that I think looks really nice. And let me go back to our other view here. And then as a reminder, when you're done, you want to add your pictures to our Hall of Fame as well. So if I pop on in to where it says Hall of Fame here, it's going to bring us there. So once you're done with your piñata, you'll take that photo of it. You're going to come in here to the piñata section, okay? And you're going to go to yours and go to Insert Image and take a picture with your camera or any of these other methods as well to get that submitted in. All right, you guys, have fun with this. I cannot wait to see how they turn out and check them out in the Hall of Fame. We'll see you then. Bye.